Hey everybody, this is Lee Wanner. Today we are going to take the third mode of the minor pentatonic scale and we're going to add the major third to it. This is for A7 or an A dominant chord. So we're starting on the D. The D of the E string. Get my videos mixed up. Anyway, that's with our index finger and then ring finger. Now you may recognize this is the one that used to just look the same on the first three strings. And the first two indeed will look the same now. But the third one, we're going to add the middle finger to the 11th fret. And then, of course, so we'll have those three notes in a row. And that middle finger is on the major third, obviously. And then the next string will look just as it used to. 9th fret, 12th. After that, you move back up to the 10th and 13th. And then up another fret on the B string. You have that third note there, which is the major third. Or you can bend. The next string looks just as it used to. So those last two strings, as I just played them. However, instead of bending or sliding, you could go to the E string and play the 9th fret. You see that 14th fret of the B string is the same as the 9th fret on the E string. So, gives you some options there. You can slide up to it, or slide, up to it on the E string, or up to it on the B string. You hear the little subtle difference there. Usually these kind of differences, these are the differences that make what people call phrasing. Some people have really nice phrasing. Without going too deep into it, what is good phrasing and bad phrasing? Well, generally speaking, for me, personally, what I like to hear, some guys I think are excellent phrasing in these pentatonic situations would be like Alex Scott Henderson, for example, has got amazing phrasing. Jeff Beck is a huge name, amazing phrasing. Amazing phrasing. Anyway, you get the idea with these kind of players. I love many players, but these are just examples that a lot of people already know of who have great phrasing. Anyways, to me it's all about variety, playing the same thing in different ways, how many different ways, and then, for my taste especially, the strangest ways, and then letting go of the old-fashioned ways. That's really cool. So then you hear a person play basically the same notes, because there's 12 notes in the chromatic scale, so you're hearing the same notes all the time. But you hear somebody play those notes in such a strange, unusual way you haven't heard before. And they do it maybe with some pedal, or they do it with a whammy bar, or they do it with their tone in general, the tone that comes from their amp, or the tone that comes from their hands. It's a very different thing. And part of the tone is how you're using your fingers. Are you using the pick? Are you sliding? Or are you bending? It makes a big difference when you hear somebody not do either of those, like Holdsworth. He just does a huge stretch. Now, he slides and whatnot also. But he also does these huge stretches, which ordinarily people try to avoid. Well, by him just going directly for that, he had a very original sound. And, blah, blah, I go on and on. But just a little talk about phrasing there, something we'll come back to at another point, I'm sure. In the next video, we will be moving on to the next pentatonic, next mode of the A minor pentatonic scale, and we'll add a major third to that just as we did today. Until then, happy practicing.